It's 1:34 a.m. here at the Circuit de la Sarthe for the 24 Hours of Le Mans. With fewer cars on the track now and 9 hours down, all of the variables are still there. We're still managing fuel and virtual energy along with tires. But something can always go wrong. Watch the sights and sounds of the 13th stint driving into the night. Welcome to Driving Immersion. This is the immersive racing experience. Studio 397's Le Mans Ultimate is the best detailed simulation of the World Endurance Championship. This is a continuation of our full 24 Hours of Le Mans series. We will be racing in Le Mans Ultimate using as much of its simulation factors to be as close to the racing as possible. We drive from the cockpit using a Fanatec CSL DD Plus wheel and load cell pedal set, without any assists except for what exists in the car. There are collisions and damage, tire wear, and fuel use, including virtual energy. There's plenty of racing to come, and the conclusion is still up in the air. Click on subscribe now so that you don't miss out on any of it. We are back in the racing from the pit lane, and as you saw there, we had 1 extra gallon of fuel left after the last stint, so we are going to reduce our fuel ratio down to 0.88 or 88%. We had 4% of virtual energy left, and our front tires are down to about 25% of life left, so we will be stretching the car's durability on this stint. Again, only fuel and virtual energy on this pit stop, so we will be ready to go in just a few seconds. We return to the track
let's try to remember,
and continue on in first place. Timing shows that the second place Alpine of Nicolas Lapierre is 84 seconds back, with the number 3 Cadillac 3 seconds behind him.
Yeah, they will have cooled. You can see there we're down to 48 in the left front.
There we are, that's Nicolas Lapierre in the number 36, and he just got smacked in the back by one of the LMP2s, and right now he's still up against the wall. I believe this is Arnage, and we can see very many of the LMP2s, now a GT3 Mustang, pass him by as he gathers his car back up. So back on track and back to racing. We'll see if he will come into the pits.
Did not put enough fuel in, so we're not going to worry about that this time around. Oh, very late. And we are on the gravel. Another big mess after a pit stop.
So the number 8 is off track. The tires are old and we'll have to maintain and keep monitoring them. Back to the number 36 of Nicolas Lapierre. And we're going to see if he comes in. He did get smacked pretty hard in the back. Yes, he's coming in, so it's possible that he will be repairing some damage. Obviously, the rear wing is still there, but it's dark, so it's hard to see if the fenders or any of the rear parts of the vehicle are actually damaged. They're back in the pit lane. Doesn't look like there's a lot of damage, but he may have been due to come in for tires. And there is the number 3 Cadillac. It looks like a scheduled pit stop for both of them as well. So I guess what we could do is basically time the pit stops to see how long they will take. Now the number 3 would not have any damage as he was not involved in the collision.
So we're trying to see here if we can get away with 88% fuel ratio. And that left us with about 3.5 gallons of fuel for the stint. And I think there might have been a gross miscalculation. So let's see how we do. We can't afford to save fuel, and there's nobody coming up behind us for at least 100 seconds.
Here is the number 3 Cadillac exiting the pits, but where is the 36 Alpine? Right now, classification shows that he is behind number 3 in 3rd place. Here he is leaving the pits. So as his pit stop was a little bit longer, he may have had some damage fixed. Perhaps some new tires as well. So back on track with the Alpine as we drive through the Dunlop S's.
That's pretty good. See if we can improve it.
So after just one lap in, our virtual energy usage is only 7.9.
So we're getting a lot of temperature from that front. Maybe putting in too much air.
So after a full lap into the stint, the left front tire is running a little bit warm compared to the right front. And that
so
is
left it there longer or much earlier than required.
And that is indicative of the wear and the extra pressure that we have in there to avoid that wear.
Right now we've got a pretty good lead. Let's try to get this down to 7.3% of virtual energy per lap. If it's actually possible.
Back on board with Nicolas Lapierre in the number 36 Alpine. He's about 30 seconds behind Ranger van der Zandt now in the number 3 Cadillac. So there is the number 8 in relation to the Alpine. As we saw the Alpine coming into Indianapolis just a few seconds ago, and now the number 8, which is ahead just a few seconds, comes through the Indianapolis as well, and this is now Arnage.
Gonna move our brake bias back just a notch. See if it does anything. The left front is getting worn. Yellow.
Coming in through to cross the start-finish line once again. That is 2 laps into this 13th stint for the number 8. And you can see there on the timing, Nicolas Lapierre in 3rd place, only 6 seconds ahead of the number 8. And we got to see just a little glimpse of some red lights up ahead. That might have been him. That would be 6.4 seconds. And if we can go down the Mulsanne Straight here and look far ahead, we may be able to see those same taillights. So very nearby.
Pretty slick. And you feel very understeery.
There is the red tail lights of Nicolas Lapierre and the number 36 Alpine. As we come through the first chicane of the Mulsanne Straight, Mars Medina in the number 8 is evaluating the tire wear on this set of soft tires that is on its 4th stint.
There was a lot of energy on that last lap. I think it's because we are running out of charge. That is the Alpine just ahead. And we have lost a second on him.
Again, as the number 8 comes into camera, we hear the Alpine just zip away.
Okay, not enough grip to brake that hard. Rear now.
There he is again. We just heard the Alpine zipping by as the number 8 comes through the Ford S's and crosses the start-finish line once again.
Still losing time to Lapierre.
Quick look at the timing shows that we are now 8.4 seconds behind Lapierre. So we had lost about a couple of seconds in the last couple of laps. We are trying to conserve fuel and virtual energy.
It's okay if we have to come in early on the stint because these tires are on their way off. Now on the left front. Wow. Well, I think we have put in too much air.
Having a look at the wear on the left front, it looks like now that it is wearing very fast. And we are just about a third through this 4th stint on this set of soft tires.
That is absolutely not good. something to worry about now. Definitely not as well behaved as the mediums, but they were warned. Wow.
A big lockup there for the left front, and
Way
right away
overheated now at that 136.
we lost a couple of percentage points just from that little skid.
That time was a 341.1 left.
Definitely not stopping.
So another 1% from a very brief skid there into the Dunlop S's. Now, if you haven't raced in Le Mans Ultimate with your tires down this far in the wear level, this is exactly what happens. I guess it's a word to take note here.
Yeah, these tires definitely do not feel like they have a lot of grip. And 30%, especially below 30%.
Very moderate braking and turning into the second chicane of the Mulsanne Straight. Our left front is down to 11%.
Okay, we are going to scratch the fuel savings. This stint, I think we will be coming in earlier to get off of these tires. Right now we are only 4 laps in.
So to Mars Medina on lap 4, these tires are not going to last. And after just 4 laps into the stint, we lost about 10% off of the front left. The more we skid, the faster it will wear out.
Whoa.
But unfortunately, we need that left front for braking and slowing down. So now coming into the Porsche S's, we're going to see how this tire does. And we have just a few more turns before we get into or past the entry into pit lane. And you saw there that we slid off course just a little bit. it looks like Mars Medina is going to go for another lap here on this worn set of soft tires. If only it's possible to drive at a slower speed, we may be able to complete the stint. Another lock up there as we come onto the Dunlop curves under the bridge. .6% now, and it is an escalating factor. Every time we brake, the tire locks up and skids, and every time it skids, it reduces
We're gonna come in and change out of these tires.
wear level even more. So before we enter the Mulsanne Straight, Mars Medina is even going to call into the pit and come in and change out these tires. So having a look at our pit strategy here on the fly, we are going to change the...
Whoa!
Oh, we're going to slide right through.
The front is just locked up. Won't even stop.
Another big slide. They're just locking up now.
Wow. No turn. No grip. Are they flat?
Again, if you are going to drive in Le Mans Ultimate and wear the tires down this much, this is exactly what will happen. 2% now for the left front. And it's basically wearing exponentially as we try to get back to pit lane. Big lock up here is just not gripping enough to help slow down the car.
0% now. Yeah, they're definitely not grippy.
Another drive through the gravel.
So soft tires in the rear, mediums in the front.
Approaching Indianapolis. Big braking zone. They do continue to lock up. At least the front left does. And we have our pit strategy here planned already on the HUD.
Wow, unable to stop.
Big lock up into Arnage, and we are going to go softly into the barrier.
Oh, damage now in the front end.
Damage indicated now on the HUD. And we've lost about 25 seconds now to the second place car.
Almost 2 a.m.
So back on track, we are at the entry of the Porsche S's. Off again into the gravel trap. Avoiding the barrier altogether, fortunately. And this is usually a very fast part of the track. Thankfully, there are no cars around as we get back.
Nope, not at all. Well,
you can see now that the tire is down to 1% life. And right now, it does not indicate that it's flat if there's any indication at all. From outside the car, it looks like to be still in one piece, but here we are at the entrance into pit lane. And we are going to change out of these tires. And the last few corners actually put a lot of wear on the right front, and you can see now that it's down to 20%. 100 seconds now in front of second place number 3 Cadillac.
So I only got
and there he is driving through the trees.
And 6 laps. 5 laps out of the soft. So put mediums in the front.
Oh, a big crash for the number 3. He is into the wall. I believe this is Arnage. He is still there. He is parked at the wall just momentarily. Okay, he's back to moving.
Yes, we are in 13 seconds.
No, I believe that is the Mulsanne corner. So still pretty far back. You can see now that he is back on track and making time on the number 8.
We're still quite a bit ahead of the competition.
We are changing tires, which is going to cost us 13 seconds.
Okay.
And we are going to refuel on virtual energy as well as fuel itself.
What is that?
And now we have a stop and go indicated on the HUD.
What is the penalty for? Stop and go for what?
So a very big mystery right now for the number 8. And again, if anything can go wrong, it will go wrong.
Alright, let's get these tires warmed up.
So right now there's still no indication of why we have to come in for a stop and go. We may have to look back to see if it was speeding in the pit lane.
Get our update here. 10-second stop.
And we've got our HUD up right now waiting for
Does it indicate for
exactly why we have the stop and go. Back to the number 3. Let's see if he comes in and has any repairs. No, he is actually past the pit entrance and the pit lane, and he is now just about to enter Tetra Rouge. Here is the number 36, and I believe he could be in second now, and we're waiting for the leaderboard to show up.
Nice to have fresh tires. So we will come in at the end of this lap. And we'll still put us ahead of the number 3 Cadillac.
And if you just missed it, the timing indicates that the number 3 Cadillac is still ahead of the number 36 Alpine. It's a matter of about 8 seconds as we drive on, entering into the Porsche S's with the number 8 Toyota with Mars Medina. And we will be coming in at the end of this lap to serve that stop and go. It's actually a lot better now to come in after just one lap so that we can continue on warming the tires and getting them up to speed. If we come in after they're already warmed up, they will start to cool down again, and it's just a waste of time. There we are coming into the pits. We're going to make sure that we are under the speed limit.
That time was a 4:54.87.
No change in the tires because there's a bunch of work going.
And every time you come into the pits, before you come into the pits, you got to make sure that your pit strategy there, if you don't want to change tires, you have to set it to no change. Otherwise, your last strategy that you left onto the program will actually apply to the car. So if you didn't, even if you didn't want tires, it will give you new tires. So as we see it on the lower left of the screen, you got to make sure that it says no change.
But all served up, we are still 28 seconds ahead of the second place car.
Another big crash for the number 3.
And you should stop before you stand.
And that time very hard into the wall as we see the Alpine drive by, waiting for the track to clear before he gets back on the track. And it looks like that.
There we are, they just crossed the start finish line. So the Cadillac is still with the Alpine.
It looks like that little off-road excursion happened after the pit entrance. And we saw that the number 3 did not come into the pits. There we are, back to the number 3. Very difficult to judge the damage on his car, if there is any. Right now in Le Mans Ultimate, there are no dangling parts or visually broken parts, just a little bit of wrinkling in the fenders or the body part, like the rear fenders. We have seen rear wings fall off or get knocked off, but it does take quite a lot. And we are now on board with the number 3 as he's going to try to make his way back to the Alpine. According to the timing, he is just about 4 seconds behind. So there we are. There is the Alpine that should just be exiting the chicane here. Down into Mulsanne corner. And we are back on board with the Alpine. There is the Alpine, that set of red lights very far up ahead. And we got to see the Cadillac there brake very late, or left off the throttle very late, coming into the left turn into Indianapolis. And we did see a lot of dust coming up at Indianapolis, so perhaps the Alpine may have driven through the gravel a little bit, as he is a little bit closer now. So right now, these two are having a little back and forth. There we are, the number 3 Cadillac, now a little bit closer again to the Alpine. showing just about 1 or 2 seconds in between the two. On board with Nicholas Lapierre in the number 36 Alpine. We are looking back at the Cadillac as we exit Chartreux. Now down the Mulsanne Straight.
I believe the right front fender is wrinkled.
Back to the number 8, we are trying to follow the energy savings that we had programmed in.
There is the damage to the
And
front
right
end.
now we are up to 8.09% of virtual energy per lap, or at least on our last lap. And again, at the beginning of the stint, we reduced our fuel ratio down to 88% or 0.88. And that gave us just about 23.1 or 23.4 gallons to complete this stint, which, if we've calculated right, will give us 12 laps. Back to the Alpine and the Cadillac just behind.
It was very interesting to race in the dark, but right now at about 2 a.m. here at the Circuit de Sarthe, I'm actually looking forward to daylight.
Lap 3, 38.83.
They're still on the field.
Now on board with the Alpine, looking back at the number 3 as we exit the first chicane on the Mulsanne Straight. And that was the number 36 Alpine staying ahead of the number 3 Cadillac, as they have been shadowing each other for most of the evening here. Back to the number 8 GR010, new tires. And we did stagger this set of tires. The front tires are going to be the mediums. Rear tires are the softs. Very briefly there, you got to see that the ones in the front are indicated with yellow, and the ones in the back a light blue.
Oh, very wide here. Totally all right.
Back to the Alpine and the Cadillac, as they are putting on a very good show here at Le Mans.
So we are making 5 cars behind, little by little. I don't know when they are going to stop though. It's just something we would have to look at.
This is the number 3 once again. That is the 36 just up ahead. As we enter the Mulsanne corner. A little squirrely there for the number 3. Looks like the number 3 is doing very well on the slower parts of the track, but I think once they get to the straights, you can see that the Alpine seems to be pulling away. And we are looking at a very nice detail added to Le Mans Ultimate, which did exist in the hypercars and the other cars in the field. Those 2 red lights that you see there on the side, the 2 lights indicate he is in second place. If you are in third place, as with the Cadillac, there would be 3 lights. And again, into the pits, these cars are shadowing each other. it looks like those stints are actually pretty short, so they may not be on fuel savings at all.
155. Okay, so here and I understand are in the pits now.
They were within about 60 seconds of the number
and
8,
that is our lap
but that
5,
pit stop is going to put them
4.
back. That is the Alpine and the Cadillac just behind.
I believe that is the number 35 Alpine up front. Yes, it is. And we are going to put him one lap behind.
There is the Cadillac back on the road. And right now he has beat the Alpine out of the pits.
Once he comes in. And he should come in so that we have other cars to race with. If he doesn't come in, he may run out of fuel. Obviously, I don't know. That's the stop one, but he has to pit stop. He has a teammate. We do expect him to come in this time around. There he is, coming in.
So just to the right there, that is the number 35
on the
Alpine.
right.
And he is quite a ways down. We are
There
going to
he
put
is.
him one lap
And-
behind as he comes into the pits.
7.6.
But at least he has not run out of fuel on the track.
So 35 and his Honda are in. We may be done with the immersion for now.
And having a look at the timing on the upper left, with 152 seconds behind for both the 3 and the 36.
I wonder if we can make them.
If the math is correct, it may be that both cars had refueling as well as new tires. Usually 40 seconds for the virtual energy, and then another 17 or 20 seconds for tires.
No fuel savings or no energy savings at all. On this stint, either on the last lap, we did 8.42% virtual energy. Almost came around.
Big save there by Mars Medina on the number 8.
There.
38.57.
We can still make 12. Stint. Even though we were doing nothing at all, save. Yes, it starts saving now.
That is the Cadillac up ahead with the Alpine just a second behind. And right now, this is the closest race on the track. Now we are watching the number 8 on the back straight with a train of GT3s.
Saw the second car in front. And, is that better?
Very carefully through here.
So the Alpine is second place, and the Cadillac, they are running 338, which is essentially what we're doing. Actually, a little bit better. That was at 340. Our last lap, or best lap, was 337. This is going to be at 340.
And that is lap 158.
Coming in.
Another look at the number 3 of regular Van der Zande, and another off-track excursion. That is going to put him behind the Alpine. That is 8 seconds. And we totally missed exactly what happened, but we just saw him off-track recovering. That was likely at the first chicane on the Mulsanne Straight.
It took a long time in the pit. It took a really long time.
Back to the number 3. We can't see the Alpine now. We do hear him far off in the distance here at night. And that could be him up there, the red lights at the vanishing point in the screen. And that was a little bit of an off by the number 8. So right now our last lap was 7.97% of virtual energy. It is now 8 laps completed, and this lap is number 9.
Now 2:31 a.m. 60 degrees.
Getting a little bit of a track summary by Mars and Dina. It is 2:31 a.m. And there is the number 3 after having an off at the first chicane on the Mulsanne Straight. Not enough damage to require him to come in. There is the Alpine of Nicolas Lapierre, and he will be in second place at this point. Crossing the start-finish line to number 3, so not too far apart. Again, these two have been racing for most of the night. This is number 8, and that looks like a spin right before the Dunlap Bridge. Yes. That transition into turn 3 is actually very complicated, again, as we shift the weight of the car from the right to the left and then back to the right. The best way to resolve that is to just slow down enough. So we lost about 5 or 6 seconds from that quick spin. And we are 1:45 ahead of second place Nicolas Lapierre, again in the Alpine. The number 3 Cadillac now 6 seconds behind him. Having a look at the Alpine cross the start-finish line. And back to the number 8, and this is how far ahead the number 8 is. We are now exiting Arnage. So that is about 3/4 of a lap. That was the number 35 Alpine that we were just watching previously coming into the Mulsanne corner. Again, very difficult to distinguish between the 35 and 36 with the font that they have chosen to display the number on the car. Back on board with the number 8 GR010. After that change of tires out of the soft, the race is coming back. We do have a set of mediums in front with a set of soft tires in the back. And again, we are trying to look for a combination that is going to basically prevent what just happened, and that was that the front tires were so much faster than the rears. And this is the approach to the Mulsanne corner. A little wide there for the number 8. Again, it is the middle of the night, as it is dark outside. A lot of the brake cues are not readily visible. Now passing the pit entrance, we are going to come around again to finish lap 11. And so with that, the next time we come around, we are going to be pulling into the pits. There is the call from the pit crew. We now have 10% of
So
virtual
there we have
energy.
it. We are automatically called into the pit, and we're not going to make it another lap around. Mathematically, we have 2.6 gallons of fuel, burn 1.9 per lap. So when we come in, we will not have enough to go another round, and that also includes the virtual energy. We have 8.4% right now. We burn 8.1. As it's 11:12 when we come in.
So again, we adjusted our strategy with the stint. So when we come in, we may have 0.5% of virtual energy. And maybe a 0.5 gallon of fuel. And if that's right, then we calculated correctly. Big hit there from the LMP2.
He was coming.
Still trying to gather ourselves.
No damage, no. I guess we're fortunate.
So that was a big mistake by the AI or the other car on the course. I think if we had our damage up to 100%, it's likely that our rear wing would have been knocked off.
So even in the stint where we had to come in and change tires,
And that is precisely why we don't have our damage up to 100%.
we are still 147 seconds ahead of P2 Alpine. And 341 laps from the P1 and P3. That is how far we are ahead of them. They just crossed the start finish line as we
Porsche S's now.
exited Arnage. In this lap.
Into the pit entrance. Down to the speed limit. And now I'm curious to see what our energy levels are. Well, it was certainly a challenging stint with the worn out tires. And the racing between the Alpine and the Cadillac makes it still very exciting here in the early morning. We thank you for watching this race at Driving Immersion. And remember, for more exciting racing ahead, give us a like and click on subscribe or follow so that you don't miss out on the next race event. We'll see you next time. There we are, 2.6%. On the virtual energy, and we have just 1 gallon of gas.